What did you do to yours, Kiki?
I don't know.
Okay, let's fix you. Are you better now?
I'm here.
Oh, you're all the way in there. As in, her face is right against the microphone. Everyone, just calm yourselves. This isn't a doctor's visit. Welcome to the
Kiki.
No, you don't say it yet. Misadventures of
Kiki
and Cowboy podcast, and we have a really special episode for everyone as in the one person listening. For you, listener, we have a special episode because we have guests today. We have a room full of people, theoretically.
Woo!
And
applause, please. Applause.
Okay, I'll insert that later. I'm busy. And and so we have some familiars in the room. We have.
Wait a minute. That would be like Harry Potter or something.
Something like that,
is
yeah. So
that what we're doing?
Tango?
Familiars?
So here we are with our guest. Our guest, we'd like to hear you, guest. This is Tango joining us from, where's Tango from? That's when you answer.
Austin, Texas.
You answer questions when we ask, Tango.
Our imaginary guest,
apparently
today,
imaginary,
who is a mute and a mime,
is afraid to speak words. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, something to know for our listening audience is Tango apparently has lost Tango's voice and only speaks in
gestures,
whispers. Oh,
which
gestures,
is really
rough for
podcast.
audio.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, okay. Finally, we have Tango. Well, Tango has been so kind as to watch some of our
so kind.
Our furry friends.
I just dump off my dogs over at her house, and they get mauled by
her dogs, by their dogs. So it's 3-1. So it'd be different if we were bringing 3 or 4 dogs to your 2.
Well, see, what's really fun is watching your dogs not quite figuring out the way our backyard works.
How your backyard
is it partitioned?
Works.
Is it a maze? Are there obstacles, traps?
Well, we have 2 doors that go in and out to the backyard.
Okay.
Oh.
And 2 back doors.
Typically,
they're living large over there.
I know.
I mean, talk about bragging.
Look at you with your 2 back doors.
2 doors
to the backyard.
To the backyard.
Yeah. No front door though. It's really inconvenient.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we do not like our neighbors.
So typically, our dogs go out one of the doors.
Okay, and
they come in the other door.
So you have an outie and an innie.
Kind of.
Okay.
But it could be.
But we're talking about the house.
Yes.
So let's get back to that.
An outie and innie house.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But it could be in and out of the same door, either door.
Wow.
Okay.
But your
Is it
dogs,
one of those like saloon doors that swings both ways?
Like a bi-directional door. Who's heard of one of those? Man, they are rich.
I don't know. I'm about to Google that.
So your dogs clearly come from a one-door house.
Yes. One dog
with a lot of judgment.
One dog door. Yes.
Yes. You have a one-door house, so they are quite confused when all the dogs disappear and come back inside, and they're not sure why they're still outside.
And so my dogs,
I bet they think there's a whole nother pack of dogs, and y'all just keep swapping them out.
I can just picture Iggy standing out there and going, "Wait,
they were just,
what
but now
happened?
they're
Where did they go?
They smell the same.
Where did they go?
what?"
Yeah.
They're gone. Now they're inside looking out the window.
And they're looking at us through this door that I'm standing
we just
at.
saw them.
Somehow, how did they do that? They're
They can
miracle
open
workers.
doors.
Yes.
These dogs open doors.
Yeah, Iggy's not my
It's
brightest.
a multi-dimensional dog door.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Multiverse, the
Yeah, I never
multi-dogverse.
thought about the multiverse. Turns out the multiverse is limited to dogs. We humans can't experience
It's the
into that
two-door
fun.
households.
Yes, it's the 2-door households.
dog universe.
Yeah, but
Absolutely. So both dogs, because I mean, Peanut actually is the smarter of the 2 of them.
Yeah, she's not getting it.
She's not getting it. She's just following poor little Iggy. That's hilarious.
it's a rough life.
Yeah. And the other day I told Hubs,
Yes.
don't let me forget that your dogs are in the laundry room eating.
Yeah,
And then he left for an appointment and I heard, babe, because they were still in the laundry
They were
room.
still in the laundry
that's
room.
right. They're not shy about making new bathrooms out of places. Like, oh, this is our bathroom now.
Yeah.
Well, we have to put them in the laundry room because they will get mauled
Yes.
by your beefy, brawny pups.
What kind of dogs are those?
Boston Terriers.
They're Boston Terriers.
Yes, all Bostons, except that Maddie,
the smallest of them,
the really sweet queen bee.
Yep,
she is completely anxiety ridden,
super adorable, though.
And she has this really odd way of putting her face like on your face. She has to like smash her chest into you. And if you've ever seen,
it's affection.
If you've ever seen like the Reach toothbrush commercials from a long time ago that are like the cartoon, and Reach was really good. Like, I don't know. This probably is like an 80s reference
where you
or something.
The head falls all the way back.
He was like, like a bobblehead kind of drawn character. And so they were talking about how good the Reach toothbrush gets to your back teeth, right? And so he would flip his head like completely open. So Maddie sort of does that. She lifts her head so high that she just literally her nose is pointing to the ceiling,
like
and it's just a flat surface from her throat all the way down to her chest, and she just smothers you with it. It's the craziest thing. So, and for a small dog, she is extremely powerful and aggressive when it comes. Like, there's a lot of weight there as she's trying to smother you. So
we call that anxiety love.
Is that what
anxiety
that is?
Love.
Anxiety love. She is anxiety ridden for sure.
Well, look, your dogs have driven her to going in the boys'
We're
crates.
being shown a evidence.
That's not even her bed.
A picture of Maddie just hiding anywhere she can find. She's in a big dog crate.
Well, she doesn't know where to go, so she's now hiding in the boys' crates, which she never does.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So what I'm hearing is, by us visiting, and of course staying across the street, which is just so smart.
It's so quiet over here.
It's wonderfully quiet over. We slept so well.
It is. I must point out.
Meanwhile, we're subjecting our dogs and our extended family to too much torture.
Yes.
Right.
This is only a one-door back door house. So
true. Yeah. So we can't all live in that kind of luxury.
Street over here. So I know it's a shame. So what shall we talk about today?
Well, since we had some familial types, we thought about delving into some history of misadventures.
Okay.
We're going to use the time travel. I'll find a sound effect. It'll probably be cows, but audience, you're hearing what Cowboy decided, and it's already being played.
And it's cows.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
So
because he doesn't play anything other than cows.
There's so many of them.
Nobody gets that.
I have 1,000 cow.
Not one person gets that.
Go to 1,000 sound effects. We're sponsored by 1,000cowsoundeffects.com.
By
1,000cowsoundeffects.com. Thank you to the good people at 1,000cowsoundeffects.com. Yeah.
If somebody has not bought that URL, you better go out
.moo.
and buy it.
So they're just so great to sponsor this and a couple other podcasts.
Indeed. I think we'll have to have 1,000cows.com shirt.
Yep.
That'll be in the merch shop
1,000cows.com.
later this week.
Look.
With all the other merch that we've never made.
The future or already existing, depending on when you're listening to this, our merch and also our Patreon account, because we need coffee.
Is that also a .moo?
It's we're creating a new dot something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
.moo. Is it MU or MOO though?
Oh.
We have a consensus in the room, but we're not sharing. So you people out, our one listener can't buy the URL.
Yeah.
Okay. So where shall we start with the misadventures? I'll start with me.
Okay. Start with you.
Because that's how it's done. And then I'm just kidding. I don't know what that means, but now we're awkward. Now I feel bad. I'm over it. Okay. So I had a job. I had a job where I washed dishes at a huge cafeteria. I was 15. It was my first job. I made $3.18 an hour, and back then that was sweet moolah. I could buy a pizza.
How much?
Sweet $3.18.
$3.18
American.
Woo.
Yep. And with that, it would take me a few hours, but then I could buy a single pizza.
Look at that.
Yep. Rolling in the dough. Pun. Pizza pun. That's right. So,
fun fact, Tango does not get puns, so we have to call those out every single time that we have one. So
you got to play the ba-dum bump just to give me a clue.
That's not it. Hold on. I'm trying to find out. Just it's already there. It's probably cows. Wink. So I had a job, and I was 15. I weighed about 100 pounds wet, and the guys in the cafeteria kitchen thought it'd be funny to give Cowboy, or I guess I was Cowboy then too.
I think. Is there something we need to talk about?
Cowboy Jr.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to think Cowboy like a mini cowboy. Yeah, but ranch hand.
Kid cowboy.
Yeah, which actually ranch hand would be appropriate because they were ranch style beans. So it was one of those giant gray Rubbermaid containers filled to the brim with rancid beans. They had to be thrown out. So I had to go out in the hallway, which had like a 3% grade.
Now, this is a large, like one of those
really big gray Rubbermaid trash cans. No lid.
Trash can, no lid. On wheels.
On those heavy casters.
And not
it would separate.
Not quite stiff enough that it
had some
have a wiggle jiggle like Jell-O.
No, but close. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So the long story short, it took me about 30 minutes just to get down to the service elevator because it was so full that even slightly, if you barely pushed it wrong, the rubber would bend and it'd start creating this magma-like wave throughout the top. The top layer had kind of solidified it a little bit. You know, it's like you could poke through it if you wanted to.
On it.
It's got the skin, that rancid bean skin. Dot move. Don't go there. Safe search on. Safe search on. So I get down to the elevator, and so interesting. The engineers that designed both the Rubbermaid trash can casters and the elevator, not the same company, but could have been for humor fact.
They definitely did not align.
No, actually they aligned too well. The gap between the floor and the elevator and the wheel was about the same width.
The same size.
So what do you think happened? Well, as I'm pushing across, the wheel just conveniently goes down into that gap. What happens? Unstoppable force.
Beans.
Think yelling timber. And so the bean thing fell over. Let's say fell. It took a good minute for that to actually come all the way down, and then the Rubbermaid kind of compressed and then released the beans, and they shot to the back of the elevator with such force. I mean, it was impressive.
Tidal wave of beans.
It's in a slow motion. If you can see this is like a film, it hit the back of the wall so hard it splashed up about 3 feet, and it was a carpeted. There was that old dingy carpet.
Yeah, the stuff that like when you walk on it, your feet stick. Like think of like a movie theater.
No, the bottom was rubber up to about 3 inches. The wall was carpet.
Oh
no! So that's gross. And it was that gray carpet, very dingy.
Oh no!
So needless to say, I just straddled the trash can, hit the button for down, rode it down to the basement. Opened it up, locked it because I wasn't about to let that thing take off. Meanwhile, as it's sitting there with the doors locked open, it's pouring down the shaft. Like that gap, beans are pouring down. Talk about a misadventure. I had to work my way up to the catacombs. I'm in the sub-basement of this giant cafeteria.
The elevator is locked open.
It's locked.
Down there.
It's locked. And I go up and find the guys. They had locked up the kitchen. I had to knock really loud. But they came down, and these three guys that had played this trick about doubled over laughing because it was such a disaster. And there's little bean footprints of me walking away from the elevator, like shaking my feet off because there's so much beans. I threw the shoes away after a while, and then I had to walk home in them, obviously. But that was my personal misadventure. Terribly embarrassing. There were CCTV cameras there. I'm sure I saw them working, but somebody had a great day reviewing that footage. And years later, I would walk by that elevator, and it was still there. The smell. There's that smell. Yeah, it was like this weird burnt something. It almost permeated the air where you could almost taste it in the air. Yeah, it's right next to the post office.
You know how they have kind of almost that dusty.
It's dusty. Yeah,
that dusty, muddy taste to them.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then you said they did a renovation though.
They did, and someone found that down there, and they're like, "What happened here?"
There had to have been like inches.
Yeah, of just
beans at the bottom of this elevator shaft, and they're like, "What?
Why is what?
What happened down here?"
And when? It's like it had to be because I think it took 12 to 15 years for them to do that renovation, and there's no way it wasn't still there.
Fossilized beans.
Yeah, just like,
Might have had to send down archaeologists.
Yeah, kind of chisel into it, So yeah, that's my story. Kiki, you're next. I think what's on deck is something involving a bathing snoot. A bathing snoot.
Wow. Bathing snoot.
Sometimes Cowboy bites his tongue.
Yeah. So one of the fun stories we have of younger Kiki. was I was probably in 6th grade approximately.
Lean in, everybody, because I think every woman can identify with this story. Some men.
Oh, yeah.
I wore a white bathing suit once. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, and Mom was, I would say she was religious about having Tango and I take swim lessons every single summer. It was Red Cross, something like that, right? And part of this, it would be, a series of, I don't know, 6 weeks or something at the beginning of the summer. And it's a little bit like a piano recital, except for swimming. So at the end of the 6 weeks, all the parents would come and sit on these bleachers, right? And it would be like this little procession of kids going up on the diving board and showing off how they can dive in or not dive in, as the case may be, and how they can swim and not drown as they cross the pool, right? And so knowing
I'm sure it's so great for the parents. Like, I paid all this money and look, they cannot drown.
Look, they cannot drown, which is pretty much, I was not a stellar swimmer.
You pay a little more and they'll drown.
That was about the extent. I think one time we even had to get in the pool in all of our clothes.
I was going to say, they did try to drown us.
Yeah, they did. And we had to tread water in all of our clothes and shoes.
You had to take them all off.
You had to try and take them off while you were swimming to learn how to, if you were to fall into the water when you weren't in a bathing suit and you weren't prepared, you were supposed to kind of learn how to manage and again, not drown, right?
Can't you just swim in your clothes?
That was the entire goal. Well, apparently that's like
what are we wearing? Like fireman gear? I mean, normal clothes aren't necessarily not
jeans and tennis shoes and I don't know.
I'm kind of wondering, why did we do that?
I don't know, but it was a thing. You remember that too. Yeah. So
is that sponsored by like JCPenney's or something?
Yeah, maybe. That's how they were like, do this right for back to school. So everybody has to buy a bunch of stuff, So leading up to this, I know that we've got our little swim recital coming up, and I'm super excited about it. And I convince my mom to get me a new bathing suit for this event, and I wanted to look amazing, and I wanted a white bathing suit. Now, up to this point,
wait. Was it before or after Labor Day?
I didn't have white shoes to wear with it, so I don't know.
There was something inspired a white bathing suit. What TV show was on? Was it like? I don't
know. Like, I mean,
Three's Company or something. Oh my gosh, that's weird.
Three's Company and stuff. Yeah,
I was thinking Chrissy from Three's Company. Yeah.
There are other misadventures to be told about Three's Company. Yeah. I won't go into them right now, but I was scarred by them. Yes. No, I don't know why. I just know that it was kind of the
Chrissy,
elusive,
Janet, and Jack, right?
The Chrissy was the other one.
Janet and Jack.
Yeah,
right?
Janet.
Yeah,
and Jack.
And Chrissy.
Yeah, Mr. Furley.
Yeah, and Chrissy. Why do you keep leaving her out? I don't understand.
Chris, say Chrissy.
Why? No, you didn't.
I say Chrissy. Okay. Janet and Jack and Mr. Furley.
Anyway,
sidebar.
I think the draw to the white bathing suit was because when you go into the sea of swimsuit, in the store, right, there are certain swimsuits that are kind of off limits, and you look
the skin colored ones,
and you look really fantastic when you have a tan in a white, in white clothing, right?
Yeah.
So you'll have ads and all that kind of stuff. And so I just know that for whatever reason, anytime we went shopping for a swimsuit, Mom was immediately like, nope, that's white. You can't wear it. Nope, that's white. You can't wear it. So I don't know how I managed to do it. It was probably the same convincing argument I gave her when I spent all of my money at the Contempo for school clothes. But we can talk about that on another podcast.
Yep.
But
that's the October episode.
I convinced her to buy an all white bathing suit, and she conceded only because it had a lining in the suit, and she was like, "Okay, it's got a lining. We'll be fine." So fast forward to the day of the recital, I think I look amazing. I'd like to point out here that 6th grade Kiki, was voluptuous, would probably be a good descriptor. I was more developed than my age would normally indicate, and I also was like a little pillbug. So I and to go with the
it's
look,
so hard to get a mental picture of whatever that is.
To go with the look, I'd like to point out that I had
a voluptuous pillbug.
A voluptuous pillbug.
Dot moo.
Yes, dot moo. And
save search on, everybody.
I also sported a
Maybe go
really
incognito.
cool headgear.
Oh gosh.
And retainer. Yeah. So I know everybody wanted to be like me, but I thought I looked amazing. Yeah. I was not wearing the headgear for the swimming thing, just so you know.
It's
but
like a character in 16 Candles or something.
Get a picture. Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So we're there. I think I look amazing. And
Joan Cusack and 16 Candles. Yeah.
Jump into the water for the first round and swim through the water. And I get up and I get out and I run around to go do
not
the next
Not
lap.
supposed to run around a pool.
Right? Well, what? Yeah, fine.
Rule breaker.
The pool police, whatever. And the next time, jump in, go, and it's like this little
aqua
steady.
Cops.
It's like this little steady stream, right, of kids.
I get it.
So second, maybe third time, I'm not really sure. I'm coming up the ladder, and I am thinking I'm doing great because I don't really like the water.
Drown.
I'm just being stellar and I look amazing. And as I'm coming up the ladder, I catch my mom's eye as she's sitting in the bleachers.
She still has nightmares at this moment, I'm sure.
She looks mad. I mean, she is giving me like a death glare.
We've had the benefit of hearing the story.
And I'm like,
it's so wonderful.
My brain is like breaking, right? So I'm coming up the ladder. And she is looking at me with just just a glare, like on fire. And I'm like, I just stop in my tracks. And she kind of motions to me with her finger, and she's just like, get back down in the water. And she's kind of got her mouth like tense, like she's working around in the water. And so I'm like going down the ladder back into the water.
I'm sure she's surrounded by like audible gasps, and people shielding their eyes.
All of these kids are swimming up behind me. Now I'm like jamming up.
What monster put her in that bathing suit?
Right?
With all the liner that's only on the backside.
And so I'm like, the kids are swimming up behind me, and people are like, go, like get up the ladder. So up I go back up the ladder. And then Mom is looking at me, and she's like, get back down. Wow. She's just got this look, and I'm like, I'm going back down the ladder. And so I'm back into the water. And then the kids are all like, go up the ladder. And so I'm caught in this perpetual like loop of like, do I go up? Do I go down? Do I go up? Or do we? And so it's jamming up, and it's just got this whole truckload of kids.
A queue of swimmers behind you.
I think Mom comes and rescues me at some point with a big burrito roll of like a towel to wrap around me and whisk me off. Actually, I think I had to come sit in the bleachers with her, and she was like, no, you're not going to do any more of your swimming thing. It's fine. But of course, she's not telling me why. I have no idea that I am completely transparent. I mean, just
basically another layer of skin.
Mom said the other day, she was like, you might as well have been wearing saran wrap. I mean, like, it was just the most heinous thing. And all I can think of is all these adults who are just like, no, I can't see this. This is so wrong. And there goes little stripper Kiki running around her future little, Yep. I don't know. They were like, are you raising her to be in the Playboy magazine? Are you raising her to be like a stripper? I don't understand what's happening. But
how long did it take May to throw that bathing suit away? I want to say the bathing suit.
Oh, that never to be worn again.
I think it was destroyed before y'all even got it.
Probably.
It probably made it into the swim place trash can right outside the door.
It might have. She might have just stripped me right there with the towel
you were
around
better
me.
off
I have
with the
no
towel.
idea.
Yeah.
I probably
you could have just done the whole thing with the towel like you were Hawaiian or something. Yeah.
So where am I in all of this? Am
I don't
like
know.
Having
So
my best swim meet ever, and nobody's paying attention to me.
Yes, absolutely. No,
Kiki's such a show off. She just got. She's like, I'm gonna take.
Do you have any recollection of that at all? That whole
no, not really. I remember swimming with our clothes on, having to learn to dive.
Yeah, that was terrifying. Mm-mm. So ta-da! That's one of the story of many.
Yes.
But I think
a youthful misadventure,
the one that takes
foreshadowing
the cake
to your future
is
here comes the cake.
Is my dear sister Tango, because and my mother has said this for years. She has said, and it's not wrong, that whenever I did something, it was out loud and proud, and I would just announce to the whole world, as evidenced by my white bathing suit. I mean, I am just on parade doing something wrong, completely overtly. My sister, on the other hand, was sneaky.
She's a sneaky ninja.
Sneaky.
And we're going to whisper the rest of the episode.
So I think she was using me as a diversion most of the time. I think I was doing stuff and I was the one getting in trouble, and she was behind the scenes, kind of
maybe
like
I was
the
just
evil
trying
mastermind.
maybe I was just trying to get attention.
Whoa!
Big reveal, everybody.
Psychology. You were stealing all the attention.
I was an attention hog for sure. For sure. So there's many. There's the chocolate ice cream. There's all sorts of things that you sneakily
You know what?
did.
As you were telling your story about misadventures, I have a story to tell, but I have another thought that came to mind.
Oh, okay.
There are some misadventures that happened when one young person goes into mom and dad's bedroom and snoops.
Oh,
wow! I think everybody listening just shuddered just now. Like there's a mass collective shudder. I think the earth shook.
What's better is that mom is looking at her like, I've never heard this story. You better be quiet. What are you saying?
For any of our younger listeners, there's a thing you don't do. Just don't go into your parents' bedroom. There's nothing good's going to come of that.
It's bad, terrible territory.
You may or may not learn things.
Okay, so
you can't unlearn.
Misadventure. Here's a handful of misadventures.
All right.
One, mom is...
How many? I want to know, is this double digits?
Yes.
Are we getting into double digits?
Like two hands, like you're holding as much water as you can drink?
Mom is in the restroom, little sliding pocket door. Restroom. Yeah. The sink is out in the main area.
Yes, I remember this house.
And I tended to like to look through her cosmetics. Oh. And one day I found she also liked to keep extra buttons. So I found a button. I wondered...
Crazy.
What would happen if I stuck this button up my nose?
Oh, that's true.
Who hasn't wondered that, though, right? Am I right?
Do you know what?
For some of us, it's a crayon.
It was a great anatomy lesson, because that is the day that I learned that your nose is connected to your throat and your stomach. Because I stuck that button up there, and then she's flushing the toilet, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to get the button out. But I just kept pushing it up farther until it disappeared.
Did it hurt?
It didn't hurt, but I was really I think I had a lot of anxiety for a couple of nights after that, thinking that I never told her.
Does she know today that until now?
Is the button still there?
She's got a shocked look on her face.
I'm asking on behalf of the entire audience.
It might still be there. I don't know.
The button may still be there.
It's like the beans at the bottom of the shaft.
That
it's like there's a button.
A whistle.
I do have a whistler.
Yeah, that audible whistle as she breathes and she laughs.
Misadventure number 2.
Oh,
okay.
You look around in mom's sock drawer.
Oh.
And you find a container
of cash.
In the container.
I'm terrified.
None of these things. I'm absolutely clueless. I didn't look at any of this stuff. This is so great. I love it.
All right, it's a scavenger hunt. Let all of our listeners know that see what you can find in your parents' shock drawer.
Your baby teeth.
Gross. I mean, cool.
No.
A container of all of our teeth.
You know, it's better that it wasn't just a bunch of adult teeth, though.
I mean, I guess the tooth fairy decided to let mom keep them as mementos.
That's really sweet.
I'm shocked. Yeah. I don't even know what to do with that information.
Number 3.
You don't have to confirm yes or no. You still have all of those.
She threw them out. That's how much she liked.
You kept them all that time and then you threw them away?
Across the table.
What would you do with them? Like, there's somebody in you know what? There's somebody in some landfill somewhere that's like, we got to look for this person.
All their teeth ready.
Look at all these teeth.
Look at all these baby teeth.
There's somebody somewhere. There's a serial killer with all these teeth. Like, think about the massive number of teeth with 2 kids and all of that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
on another occasion,
minus one of them because the dog ate my tooth.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And then there was the tooth, and then there was a tooth that you forced out of my face by making me eat a raisin.
That's true. Good times.
She's looking for the button.
I don't really like raisins anymore.
I wonder why not.
Okay, number 3.
Bloody raisin.
Another one, 3. If you were to take a tour of Mom's closet, you would see normal clothing. Shoes organized, clothes hanging, but it's what's...
And then she's got a white bathing suit sitting in the
back. But it's what's behind the clothes on the hidden shelves.
That's where Narnia is. I've been wondering where Narnia
all
was.
the secret, sneaky kids out there know what I'm talking about. They know to look for the hidden shelves.
What I'd like to know is, can we have a survey? I'd like all of our listeners who are
raise
listening.
your hands.
I want you to vote. If you're the sneaky kid in the family,
I'm putting the poll in the
my money is on the fact that you're not the oldest.
Ooh, yep.
I think you're going to be one of the younger kids.
Yep.
Because I think all the oldest kids, like, there's no way. We were getting too much heat, too much attention.
The oldest kids would walk into the closet and say, I don't know where it is.
That's totally
Nothing
true.
in here. Who cares?
I can't find it.
Yeah,
I can't find
listen,
anything.
he feels my pain.
There are clothes in here.
Yeah, but when you're a sneaky kid and you look on the hidden shelves behind the clothes,
what do we find?
You find
drum roll,
a book.
Oh yes.
Oh, the title of which
Our Bodies Ourselves.
Where Do I Come From?
Oh, that. Or that. Same topic.
And she hadn't shown me this book before.
No, because you were 4 years younger than I was.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that I had seen that book.
You probably
yet.
didn't. So I sat in that closet day after day, month after month, studying that book all by myself. I had read that book 10 times before Mom sat me down at the table to read it to me.
What's sad is you knew all about it way before I did. Like, Mom's so worried about me being the oldest kid, and she's like, "Oh, I've got to explain this to her."
I'm like,
at some point.
Can we skip forward to page 12? That's where it starts getting good.
I have questions about this particular drawing. I'd like to know what's happening here. And anybody who hasn't had to endure that book, reading it out loud to your parent is...
To your parent?
To
Kiki
your parent.
had to read it to...
I had to read it out loud.
I had to read Dr. Seuss, and that was enough for me.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of watching... Was it Growing Pains?
Oh, I was going to say Quest for Fire.
Oh, no.
And
Quest for Fire?
In the...
Same thing, everybody. Pretty much the same thing.
In the episode, they were thinking about having another baby. So I was like curious, like, okay, are we going to have another baby? So I went out and asked Mom, are we going to have another baby?
She's like, let me tell you, let's go get a book.
Wait right here. Let me go to my closet. And I was thinking, oh, no!
What's so great is, like, I never asked her anything, so I was like 35 when I had to read the book to her. So she was like, "You're getting married. I need to probably explain some of this stuff to you."
So here comes the book to the kitchen table, and she read it to me.
And you're 5.
And I had to pretend like I didn't know what it said.
Oh, but you were so good at it. You probably did pretend. Well, given the look on Mom's face right now, I would say you were successful in that endeavor.
Misadventure number 4.
Oh, man.
Would that be when in your own bathroom you pretended to brush your teeth and take a shower?
The long count to 10.
This would be the one where, yes, not brush teeth. I think that was you.
No,
I think you faked brushing teeth.
You faked brushing teeth.
I think all older siblings pretend to brush their teeth.
No, it was you. You went to inordinate lengths.
That was take a shower. Take a shower.
Wet your toothbrush.
Yes.
Brush it, your finger on the teeth.
Yeah, I don't think it was toothbrushing, but I did pretend to take a shower for a long number of days, many number of days.
Wow. Yeah, I would say bordering on weeks.
So I would go into, they had a really cool walk-in shower
which was
with the glass
to Mom,
walls.
I'm sure, because she's like, you reek.
She would send me
so
into the bathroom.
What is going on?
And I would turn on the shower and I would put down the bath mat and I would go into the shower and I would splash the water onto the glass walls. And then I would take the water and I would sprinkle it on the bath mat and I would step on it.
Just the right amount.
Yeah, just the right amount. And then I would step on it with wet feet because then you could see the wet feet. And
wow,
then I would get my hands wet and then I would put it on the bath towel. And so I got so good at this. It was a lot of work.
I need to give you a slow clap because there's no way that I would have been caught within 30 seconds of even attempting this. I would never have thought of that. You were very crafty.
Well, because you probably would have said, Mom, don't come in here. I'm not doing anything. You would have ratted yourself out.
Definitely bathing. 100%.
Definitely taking the shower. Definitely not taking the shower that you told me to take.
Well, see,
I didn't do.
The danger that comes with being stealthy is that you get a little cocky. So I had been successful in this for many days.
Oh.
So then I got
Success is a bit of a strong word.
I got a little cocky, so I turned the water on, did the whole routine, and I was like, I'll just let it run for a minute. And I went over to the big bed, like the big king size bed, and I laid back on it. And was just like, I'm just gonna wait here for a minute. I'm just gonna wait here for a minute. And then I did fall asleep, and I woke up to Mom waking me up and the shower's running and I am not bathed.
And it's been like running.
It's been like 30 minutes. Yeah.
That's the best
was it at least the shower, not the bathtub, so it didn't overflow?
Yeah, it was just the shower.
Oh, that
was the last of my
that was your last
showering antics. Yeah, it was clean after that.
I'm sure you also didn't brush your teeth because I sort of remember at one point Mom going, well, if you brushed your teeth, how come your toothbrush isn't wet?
But your nephew has a great answer to that.
Does he?
He seems to know the physics behind why a dry toothbrush can still brush one's teeth.
Oh, that's good to know. That's excellent.
Although he's really disagreeing right now.
he's
furious head shaking.
Or is that nodding? He's like, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Well, the last misadventure I'll share with you is also in their bedroom. And I don't know why this happened.
I have a misadventure in their bedroom, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. I have to be in therapy.
Nothing of this.
And
that's our show, everybody. Cliffhanger episode.
So you know what? I think it all started.
Did you hide under the bed?
I think it all started with that button. Because in the button drawer, there were this pair of sharp silver scissors. Okay. The little tiny
like the
trimming scissors, the little cuticle tiny scissors.
They're not quite cuticle scissors.
They're not cuticle scissors.
They're curved like eyelashes.
They're little. No. They're sharp. They're just sharp little,
very tiny
stainless steel scissors.
I can picture them in my head perfectly.
Yeah, and those scissors.
They've got like a 1 inch little, what is it? Scissor blade.
Yeah, whatever. Like a little blade. Yeah, yeah.
And they have little like thumb and finger inserts, so they can.
Like they're just little
but they're
silver scissors.
Curved,
I'll paste the Amazon link.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll put it on our Amazon favorites.
Yeah.
So I found those scissors, and those scissors.
You too can have your misadventure with.
So
mini blinds.
If you want to play along, you'll get those scissors off Amazon, and you will find the 80s version of mini blinds in your house. And you will just ever so carefully slice those mini blinds with those scissors.
Aluminum, or what were they made out of?
Yeah, I think they were aluminum. They were metal.
Aluminum. Yeah.
Yeah,
plastic?
I think it was aluminum at that point.
Yeah. Can you describe the sound?
Shh.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just like butter. I could just feel it right now. It's just like this cream. It was creamy. It was creamy, but you didn't cut all the way through, right? It was just the slice. Yeah, why would you cut all the way through? It'd be obvious that they were cut.
A perfectly good set of blinds. By cutting all the way through.
Again, I would have been ousted for goofing up.
You would have just
I would have totally been
See, you have to
so
cut.
You don't cut through the mini.
You don't cut a straight line down.
No.
You just make it kind of.
You have to kind of random. You know, like a little over there and a little over there, and you kind of go high and low.
Yeah.
It's really, I was anxious.
You should see her right now because she's motioning with both hands like somebody would be like shooting pistols, and she's like
You're
got
the Banksy of mini blinds.
She's got like Edward Scissorhands going on here, and she's like everywhere.
Now explain the whole situation from your mother's perspective. Well, what happened there?
Okay, fast forward 20 some odd years, we were at a dinner. I don't even remember what it was for, a family dinner. Yeah, and somehow it turned into a confessions dinner. Yeah, when I was in college. Were you out of college?
I guess so.
And so
I still have to make confessions regularly, honestly.
I made some mention. Oh no, I made some mention of. I don't know if I mentioned the mini blinds first, or if Mom said something like. No, I made mention of the mini blinds.
I think you did.
About how I used to do that. And she said, no, you didn't. And I said, yeah, I cut the mini blinds. No, you didn't cut the mini blinds. I sure did cut the mini blinds. You didn't cut the mini blinds because I called the person who installed them to complain about them cracking in the sun. And she was just irate.
She was absolutely.
It wasn't funny.
She was so mad.
Dinner kind of took a turn.
Yeah, so apparently.
It's almost like admitting that you're a murderer to your parents.
Oh, 100%.
Dinner took a turn.
Yeah, it was like all laughing and fun until it was like, what about the mini blinds? Too far, Aaron.
That Harvard
Tango.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I think Mom said he came to the house and he looked at the damage and she was like, see, they're splitting. And I think they're defective. And if I recall the story, because I wasn't there when it happened, but I totally would have like ratted you out in a second had I known. I didn't even know. No question. And but Mom argued with the guy because he was like, I think one of your kids has been cutting the mini blinds.
Yep.
And she's like, what are you talking about?
You know what?
Dare you, sir?
I think he was a second. He was the second child.
Must have been. And he's
knew.
Like,
he knew it was up. Yep.
He's like, no, I'm pretty sure. And Mom, man, when she looks like a nice, sweet little old lady until she gets mad at you for wearing a white bathing suit. Or
accusing her children of doing something atrocious like cutting the mini blinds.
How dare you? And you better take the step and get out of the way. She's going to be on a tear.
Those mini blinds were replaced,
and the mini blinds were replaced.
They were.
Yep.
Yes, she absolutely. She probably had her receipt stapled and ready to go. And
Do we know that I didn't go back and cut the new ones?
Mom just gave her a look like she was going to murder her.
I mean, I'm not saying I did. I really can't remember. I wouldn't put it past me.
That delicious sound.
I wouldn't put it past you either, but I do wonder how that, like, you had gotten away with it and you enjoyed the feeling of it. Mm-hmm. How is it that you wouldn't have had a whole new fodder of mini blinds? And we only had mini blinds, I think, in the certain portion of the house, if I recall. Like, it wasn't
and
through
never
the whole
again
house.
After that.
Yeah. Maybe that's why she moved to like wooden shutters.
Yes. Yeah, right? Exactly. Oh, that's fabulous.
That's wild.
That's fabulous.
Can I tell one more?
Yeah, of course you can.
Mom story. Well, do you remember when Mom and Dad would go on trips and Grandma and Grandpa would come stay with us?
Yeah, I remember us going to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Everyone else thinks it's about to get really weird.
But I don't know.
They would come and they would drive down and they would stay with us while Mom and Dad were on a trip for like a week.
I think I blocked out my entire childhood, minus a few instances.
Yeah, minus the worst parts.
Well, on this particular time that they came and watched us, I was particularly my career as a champion tetherball player was just taking off.
Oh. Yeah.
And so getting time on the court was really important.
My
Queen of the playground.
Did absolutely.
I love tetherball. I was really
love affair.
Yeah.
There is a future in that.
Yes. And so
we installed one in the backyard.
Oh, wow. We had one in the backyard.
Yeah.
So
she could
practice.
Get good. She was going to be an Olympian.
Investing in your future.
Yeah, I really could have been. I should just go to Paris right now and be part of
Olympic tetherball.
Yeah. So on this particular trip, now it wasn't often. I wasn't allowed to stay after school because we had to do homework. Because you remember when we didn't bring home our homework and our books, that was serious. Yeah. So we, really had to study.
And somehow Mom didn't believe it when we said we don't have homework.
Yeah, you always have homework. You could always study. Remember,
there's always something.
There's always
you better
something.
bring your entire locker home in that
find
backpack
a way
of
to
yours.
study, mister.
So in this particular trip, I might have taken advantage of Mom's time away to get some extra tetherball time after school.
Okay.
And I think you knew what I was doing.
Oh, well, I have no recollection of this.
Because I would stay after school and I let Grandma know that this is what I do.
This is what
this is what we do. And so back to the...
Did I blab?
You did not.
Wow.
Surprisingly.
Yay me.
I think you were a little... I think you were scared. I think you were scared of what was to come.
Oh, really? I was like, I'm going to not be a part of this. I'm not I'm out.
Like ostrich, head in sand. So
I know nothing.
Back to the stealthy fine line
Either
to
that
cocky.
Or I was just waiting for you to get abducted. One of the two. And I was like,
more for me.
So that stealthy tango bled into a little bit of cocky tango and reckless tango. So this went on like a whole week of like unfettered tetherball time. Liberation, total freedom. Now one at that age,
were living on your own.
I mean, I was.
Yep.
And at that point.
And
what age do you think you were? Second, third grade? What?
Like I was fourth grade, maybe.
That old? Okay.
And so what happens at that age, you also lose track of time.
Indeed.
So you don't realize when it's Friday and Mom and Dad are coming home.
Oh, I don't remember this.
So you're after school on a Friday, just tetherballing your heart out, killing it on the courts, the time of your life. And around the corner across the playground turns your Talbot wearing mother.
Oh.
Deadlocked, laser beams.
I just quivered in my seat right here because I'm just like, ooh. And I've met her. You don't mess with her.
She brought those little scissors and clipped the string.
And the twin sweater set and the matching purse, belt, and shoes.
I swung my last swing. I head hung. Yeah. She made me walk to her. It was a far distance.
It's one of those you hear now.
Isn't
no
that great,
words.
Though?
No words.
Like
a walk of shame.
Across the entire
playground.
She
just appeared.
But she had like that magnetic.
It was the beam from the alien ship is like pulling you up.
Yeah, the voice in Dune
to torture you, right? And
you're just compelled. To cross the playground and go to her.
Yeah,
that's so excellent.
Yeah,
like you're possessed.
I love it. It is, but you think
your
about it.
Your toes or your shoes are dragging behind you. You're just like, I can't help it.
You're out there like doing your thing. Like, what would have possessed you to even notice that she's there? And yet somehow you just feel the energy shift,
the presence,
and you're just like
a change in the wind.
Now, I don't think this is true, but I just suddenly got a vision in my head that as I met up with Mom and turned the corner, there you are with an evil smile. I don't know. I don't think so.
It would have been classic. I wish if I was.
You might have been home.
Why don't I remember that?
You might have been home crying, wondering if I was going to come back alive.
I might have.
Dad's going to kill Ralphie.
That's probably true.
Yep.
That's probably true. I couldn't follow the rules, and yet I didn't, want you to necessarily like. It wasn't ever really my intention to break them. You intentionally tried to break them.
That's so true.
It's so true.
How dare you accuse me of exactly what I was doing?
I was just a mini tornado that really couldn't control.
Oh my gosh,
myself.
That is such an older sibling thing to say.
True.
That's a cop out if I ever heard it.
No, that's true. I wish I could say I was not if you think about like Pinky and the Brain, I was Pinky. you were the brain. So like you were very thoughtful and intentional about everything. I just kind of rolled around in whatever mess. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so how did that go for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of blacked out the rest of it. So I may have had to take a shower, perhaps. Yeah. Maybe that was the day that I fell asleep on the bed. Yeah. I just combined them all together.
In the shower crying.
Yeah, just so maximize all of those.
That's so great.
Needless to say, some other country is wearing tetherball gold this year.
Could have all been yours.
Yes, it all could have been yours.
Well, if Mom had only prioritized your,
I know. Look, I could have been a champion.
That's
could have been.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. That's too bad. I feel bad for you.
Yeah. Well,
not really.
Any last thoughts before we somehow finish this longest show of ours? It's been a series of terrific misadventures.
It has been, absolutely.
So, this has been Misadventures with
Kiki
and Cowboy and
Tango.
And others in the room. We have a live studio audience this time. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Love y'all.